To a Chandler's Channel. I'm Tracy, your host, and today's session is our intuitive weekly vlog on anxiety. So welcome if that's what you're here for. I'll go get Whitehawk, my spirit guide, and consciously channel him in just a moment. But as always, I like to touch back on the previous vlog, and I also like to speak a little bit about the topic at hand. So our previous vlog was on Reiki, and it was to help to give you a tool to have in your life toolkit for healing and to help you get through such things as the winter blues and depression, as well as Reiki. It is an invaluable tool. And I should have mentioned that in the Reiki vlog, that it doesn't cost a lot of money to get Reiki 1, and it'll take you all of, at the most, 7 hours. Some you can take a course in 4 hours for Reiki 1 to learn how to give yourself Reiki and others in your world as well. So it's an invaluable tool. So please touch back on that vlog if you haven't had a chance. I'll put it in the description box down below, either in the mental health guidance playlist, which includes the winter blues and winter blues, depression, suicide. Did I put loss in there as well? And I'll put the anxiety one in there as well. So all really good support videos for you, your family, and your friends. So have a listen and share. Okay, so anxiety. I had so much anxiety coming into this video because one, I always get a little bit of anxiety when I go to do a video. As much as I love to do them, there's always that little bit of anxiety there. And I know it's also probably to pertain to this reading because it is on anxiety, and I'm sure there's a message in it when I do connect with Whitehawk regarding anxiety. So I've had my problems with anxiety in life as well, and there are times when it's more prominent. So for you dolls, women, females, gals, when you're premenstrual, right? Anxiety goes up, right? I find that. So men, if you're listening, for your daughters and your wives and your moms, listen, because that's when you become more sensitive to it, and it'll probably become more prominent. I've had problems with it because of just day-to-day life as well, but being an HSP and an empath, sensitive to emotions around me and feelings around me, and as an HSP and empath, you will actually absorb those feelings of others. They're not your feelings, they're not your emotions, they're other people's feelings, emotions. But the sad thing is that we process them as though they are ours. So I will actually go into an environment where I've been happy, no problems, emotionally balanced, and I get in there and I go, holy crap, like what's wrong with me now? I start to sweat, and I get the anxiety, or I get depressed, and I'm like, then I have to work it back, and I have to go, okay, does this belong to me, or does this belong to someone else? And in the end, yes, it belongs to somebody else. So in that way, I can clear it out so that I don't have to go through processing all that yucky emotion, right? It's a great tool as a reader because it helps me to understand the person in front of me and what's going on, right? But it can be debilitating. As an HSP, it's very hard for me to be in a group setting because there's so many emotions being there. An example being, like, I went to my high school reunion. Holy smock. Talk about, and that was 5 years ago, right? Talk about the emotions in the room. And then that's it. I was down for like a few days because as a highly sensitive person, you need to rest. That's how we recharge and come back up. We're not lazy. It's just that we are so in tune with everything around us. We're so aware that it short circuits us. It's just who we are. We can't change. So don't try and make us change. Don't try to fix us. All we can do is manage our world inside the world around us. It's about creating boundaries. And so the reason I bring this up during the anxiety vlog is, for those of you who are dealing with anxiety, it's just another tip for you to look within yourself and say, hey, maybe I'm an empath. Hey, maybe I'm a highly sensitive person. Do the research, get to know yourself, journal things, journal when you would get anxiety. And you'll, one, either figure out it's not you and it's the people around you, or two, there's a trigger going on regarding the anxiety. What's the trigger? Is it because you have such low self-esteem about yourself that it just takes one really awkward look at you that you feel ugly, and that brings up the anxiety, that you feel that you don't feel like you're good enough or that you don't belong? Those are triggers. Go into it, and journaling will help you to start seeing that, and in that way then you can start to dissipate the anxiety. It's a start. Now, I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe, I can't diagnose, and I would certainly recommend going to see your health practitioner regarding anxiety and working with them. These are just tips and guidance for you to augment in your healing and in your journey in mental health in regards to anxiety, in regards to this blog. Journaling is a really great way to get those feelings out. And you know what? It's okay if you don't feel good enough, and it's okay because you're getting to know yourself, and you are going to build yourself up bigger and stronger. It's like the story of the 3 little pigs, right? We have the house that's made of straw, so we're not so strong. Maybe we have created a lot of boundaries around ourselves, and we allow people to poop on us, to put it nicely, right? To walk all over us. But then we get to know a little bit more, and then we build up that house of sticks. It's a little stronger than the house of straw, but, people still can walk over us, and that house gets broken down. But then we learn, okay, we're going to put up bigger boundaries. No, we're not going to put up a fence because we want to let people in as well. But maybe we might have to put up that fence for a little bit of while we're learning about boundaries, maybe. But that house of sticks is still kind of unstable. It's going to break down. And that's what happens with anxiety and depression, all that, right? We break down. But remember, like Brené Brown says, it's not a breakdown. It's a freaking spiritual awakening, right? We are building ourselves up. And so then your house of sticks breaks down. So you build yourself back up. And you get to know yourself a little bit more. And you say, you know what? No, I'm putting on the brakes. And these are my boundaries. And I also know now that it's not me. It's you. It's you whose anxiety I'm feeling, because maybe I've learned a little bit that I'm an empath. Or, I also maybe know that you're not the nicest person in the world, and you're not a healthy energy to be around me. You don't build me up. You don't see me as value. And that was maybe my trigger that gave me anxiety, is that even though maybe you were telling me, no, I love you, you're the best. But I knew inside you were stabbing me in the back, behind my back with my friends, or you were saying bad things, or you were so jealous and threatened of me that, you were trying to break me down, or you didn't want to see me succeed in life. We all know that exists, right? Hidden agendas. So then you build up your house to a house of brick, and it stays up. It has maybe a little chips here and there that we have to start to make sure we take care of, so that chimney doesn't start to break down and fall down. And it's not saying you're going to be perfect, because you're not. I mean, there's still going to be points and times, right, when things are going to happen. But you're a lot stronger than you were than the straw house. So take it back, learn to journal, build up that house. That's what we're doing. We're making ourselves stronger than ever. And we're learning about ourselves by learning about what creates the anxiety. I mean, we live in a world that's self-centered and is so materialistic, and it's all about, that person's someone because, hey, they wear Gucci, or hey, that person's someone because they drive, a BMW or whatever. And then, the judgment is, oh, well, they drive a Hyundai. oh my God, they shop at Walmart? You know, like, that's so rude. Those are the meanest people, those people that judge like that. And I assure you, the people that are driving, not all, right? Because we're not stereotyping, because there are really good people that do drive prestige cars and work hard. And as long as they're grounded and they're kind and they're nice, right? But for all the other people who think that makes them someone, well, they're going to fall, and they're going to fall hard at some point in time. And don't you dare let them degrade you and make you feel any less worthy, because you are not, because we are all children of God, each and every one of us, and he loves each and every one of us. And the money thing is not what makes someone greater and more powerful. Kindness makes someone very great and someone very powerful. Think of Mother Teresa. Think of those people. Okay, so that's my little blurb on anxiety, also adding in there that you'll have daily anxiety. Mike Fisher, I just recently in a video heard, he still gets nervous on game day. I remember in a documentary about the boy band O-Town, when they were creating them, about one of the boys, how he threw up just before a performance, because those jitters are there, those nerves are there. So there's some nerves that are going to be there. Now, if that's debilitating, say for a boy band, and he's always nervous, or any type of celebrity, after a while, that's going to catch up with people. It does catch up with you. And then that's probably why you don't see those people much anymore, and they go out of the limelight probably, right? Because they need to heal. But the thing is, in regards to that, if they don't heal the anxiety, then it just becomes this awful cycle, right? So they come back into the limelight, they get all anxious again, and then they break down and back they go, right? And how many times have we seen celebrities go through breakdowns? They're people too, and they're probably some of the most sensitive people out there, right? Because they're artists, and that's what makes them so great is they're sensitive, but at the same time, because of their sensitivities, they are prone to the exhaustion, and they are prone to the anxiety, and they are prone to the depression, right? And then we see it and we think, well, they're less than thou. Well, no, they're not. They're people. And to put them in such a position as that is going to they're going to crash ultimately. Okay, enough said. Let's see what the big guy Whitehawk has to say regarding anxiety. Well, the first thing I knew or realized was that Jesus is here, and he has been here for a while. And he's probably just been listening to me rant. Indeed. I'm not sure if it's JC or Whitehawk. And it's Whitehawk. I see him on his horse. And he gets down off his horse and he walks over to me and he gives me a big hug. And he rubs my head simply because I'm dealing with concussion symptoms right now. And he says, indeed, child, you are a brave one, he says, to tread through the waters and be here and delivering this message when thou art feeling so anxious, actually, themselves, he says. Well, children, and we're walking on like a beach. And he has his horse in hand beside him. Well, children, what can I say regarding anxiety? It is a chronic disease, a chronic illness that has spanned the ages. But mainly what I want to say is that it is chronic, and to live with it chronically is going to chronically crash you. You will be unable to get back up over and over again until it finally depletes you so much that you ultimately crash, whether it be through illness or injury. And the only reason I say this to you, children, is because we need to get a handle on it. We need to know why we are anxious all the time. We need to understand where those feelings come from, what its triggers are. We need to understand it from our viewpoint, not everybody else's viewpoint in our life, in our world. We need to understand it from our viewpoint. So, I'm going to ask you, children, to stop right now and take a moment. I want you to take a moment and look inside yourself. Go into that place where anxiety is. For some of you, it may reside in your chest. For some of you, it may reside for you in your heads, in your eyes, in your face, in your backs, in your feet, in your legs. He says, yes, anxiety can affect every part of our body. Now, for some of you, you may not know where it resides, and that's okay. Simply ask yourself, for yourself knows, your higher self knows, to take you to that place within yourself that the anxiety resides. And so in doing so, you arrive at this place of anxiety. And I see us, we're all kind of sitting around a campfire now, and we're in a circle, and we all have our legs crossed and hands probably on our laps or however we're comfortable. And our eyes are closed, and we've, chosen to go into that place of where the anxiety is. And then everybody in the circle grabs hands, and I'm hearing the song. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. And then we come up and some of us bless ourselves, and Whitehawk says, now children, I want you to journal what you've seen when you were in that spot of anxiety. I want you to write it down. I want you to draw it. I want you to chant it. For in doing so, you are allowing the anxiety to speak. You are giving the anxiety voice. And by giving it voice, you are allowing it to rise up and to clear out of you. So do it now, children. Do it often. Allow the anxiety to have a voice. Allow it to speak. Allow it to say whatever it is, no matter how shallow or how bad it is. I want you to speak it. I want you to speak from that part of your anxiety. I want you to speak from your heart. I want you to speak and say, it is because my dad never loved me. I want you to speak and say, it is because I never had a childhood I want you to speak and say whatever it is that the anxiety wants to say, no matter how bad it is. Let it out, children, for indeed the truth will set you free. Speak it, sing it, speech it, write it, do whatever it is, but get it up and out. And each time you have anxiety, come back to that spot. And it need not be right at the moment if you do not have time. Come back to that place when you do have time, for indeed you can. Note it and come back to it. And upon noting it, then you will be able to retrieve the file and start this process again of allowing the anxiety to have a voice. For when we give something voice, we are allowing it to leave us. We are letting go of it. It no longer holds power within our body. Do you understand, children? And a lot of us are kind of, never thought of it that way. I guess we all hold on to so much and don't realize that that is which causes us disease and illness. We need to speak it forth, no matter how bad it is. Indeed, children, I will wish and want you to come back to this spot as often as you need, and know that I am always here, as is our Father, Jesus Christ, in heaven. God bless, children. That is all. It is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Do not complicate it. Just speak it. Be it. God bless. Thank you. Well, that is our vlog on anxiety. I hope you found some tips and guidance here that will help you through when you are going through anxiety. I know it helps me to journal when I'm feeling something. Get that big ugly cry up. Say that awful thing that happened to you. Just get it up and out. You don't have to hold it in secret. And of course you don't have to do this in front of everybody. And you don't have to tell anybody. Just simply journal it and tell the Lord himself. He's always there to listen. Alright, well that was our intuitive weekly vlog. On Sundays it's our intuitive weekly reading with healings, teachings, and insights for your week ahead. We'll see you then. Subscribe, it's free. If you liked this reading, you can let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And not in this one. But if you, sorry, it'll be my intuitive weekly reading. Sorry. If you have any suggestions for other vlogs, please comment down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. God bless. I'm Tracy for A Channeler's Channel.